I have to, otherwise I will be stuck to this screen like a little fly. I don't know why it's a fly, splattered on the screen, staring, going, any notifications? Any more notifications? Any emails? Hello, friend. It's that time again. Something weird happened today, which is that I got an email from the press. And that is not something I am used to receiving. I had an email from someone at Times Radio asking me if I was free this afternoon to talk about phones at gigs, because apparently Bob Dylan has said that there will be no phones at his gig in Edinburgh. I have no desire to go on what might be very much right-wing radio to have my opinions ripped to bits. I don't really fancy doing that today because I am recording my new record, and that is most important. The reason I even took a minute to consider whether I should disrupt my recording day to do this thing is because the question is a really good one and I have a lot to say about it. So for the record, here are my thoughts on phones at gigs. Please put them away. A rock and roll show is not really where you would prefer to be told what to do. I totally understand that. But when performers have travelled and rehearsed and, all of the things that we have to do to get up on that stage, it is so disheartening and so dispiriting when people are either on their phones scrolling or using the phone to film or photograph. And I don't mean like the odd snap, the odd clip, of course. I mean constantly touching the phone, using it really as a barrier between me on the stage and you in the audience. And I can guess some of the counter arguments I may have encountered on this radio show. Well, if you're really good at what you do, then you should be able to hold the audience's attention. It must be your fault if they're stuck on their phones during the gig. And I would say to that, bullshit, because we are addicted to these things. I am not immune. It's right here. We're addicted to these things for good reason. There are thousands of people on the other side of that screen being paid a full-time salary to make me stay on it, to use the apps, to keep using the apps, to keep checking and rechecking and posting and checking what I've posted and seeing if anyone's sending me an email and just checking this other thing and then checking my email again 3 seconds after I've checked it before to see if there's another email. What am I waiting for? Some sort of life-changing opportunity to come into my inbox. And the irony is, when it does, potentially, when someone emails me to go on the radio, which is not something I get invited to do often, or certainly not at all in the last few years, I'm just like, no. So why was I even checking my email in the first place? Because I'm addicted to this shit. Because I'm a simple human being, I'm an animal trying to get by in life, using the tools, the technology that we have, talking into a camera right now, using this little microphone here for good audio, using a computer to record my feelings and experiences in musical form, in written form, in video form. So much of this stuff is brilliant. I love it. I love the internet. I love being connected to people. Internet is not bad. Phone is not bad. Phone plus internet connection plus attention engineers, these people at these tech companies, trying to make money off us all the time, that's bad. And we are absolutely powerless against that strength unless we can really try and sort of zoom out and have a look at what we're doing. Like collectively, is this what we want? If it is, fine. But collectively, I don't think it's a good thing to constantly be on a phone. And so specifically at a gig where you've paid money to go into a room and watch with your eyes, people perform and listen to them perform, why on earth would you then spend your time looking at something else down here? And they can see you, the performers can see you. We look out, we can see all the people there. We can see what they're up to. So if you're choosing to use your phone, whether it's just to check something quickly, just to check something quickly again, whatever, or if it's just constantly stuck in front of your face, or like this, in front of your eyes, and you're watching a gig through a screen, I just don't think that's what gigs are for, We can choose to be voyeurs in our lives, or we can choose to be present in our lives. I choose to be present in my life. When I'm at a gig, my phone does not come out of my bag. I mean, there's nothing so urgent. I appreciate that if you have children, you would want to have easy access to your phone. Sure, of course. You can put it on vibrate. You can check it every now and again, of course. I just think we have to make our own choices in life. And my choice is to not be constantly stuck to my phone when I'm out and about. I probably use it way too much in the house, but I have very strict rules about when I'm talking to someone else, when I'm eating a meal, when I'm watching television. The phone's nowhere to be found. I have a place in my kitchen where I put it, and that's where it lives. I actually have an app which I do highly recommend. It's called Freedom. I have some very strict time blocks set up on that for all the websites that I find distracting. So all social media sites, YouTube Studio, my email. I'm able to do that because I have this weird job that I've made up for myself. So obviously that's not for everybody to have it so strict, but it is really good at just giving you that time away from checking. If you feel that you use the internet too much, please give yourself a break. It is not your fault. It is addictive stuff. It's made that way. But if you do want to do something about it, you can, with some very simple steps. Freedom is one of those steps. Click the link in the description box below because I do have an affiliate link for Freedom because I use it every single day because I have to, otherwise I will be stuck to this screen like a little fly. I don't know why it's a fly, splattered on the screen, staring, going, any notifications? Any more notifications? Any emails? Yeah, it's gross. That's basically what I would have said on this radio show. But I have a funny feeling if it was like a panel situation, they don't even give you a chance to finish your sentence. People just jump in, and I find that kind of conversational style incredibly stressful. And it's just not a way I want to feel, and it's not the way I want to spend my time. I think the true art of conversation has been lost in these kinds of shows, and I just hate to think who would be, jabbing their finger at me, metaphorically speaking, and sort of putting me on the back foot and making me justify myself and who I am and all that. I just don't really fancy that today. But as I said, it is an interesting topic, and those are my general thoughts on it. Now, as this is a conversation, not just a broadcast, I would love to know, how do you feel about phones at gigs? Just let me know what you think, and we can have a very calm and friendly conversation in the comments. Right, I better get back to this, so I will see you next week for another episode of Tea and Empathy. Take care.